What's up, everyone? This is the God King Lord coming back with part 9. Now I went over scriptures in Hebrews, and I love Hebrews because Hebrews once again is letting everyone know that here, when you look at the Old Testament, in the Old Testament, it has what is called sacrificial offerings. There's so many burnt offerings and sacrificial offerings and meat offerings and all kind of offerings that's in the scriptures, that's in the Bible, that you read about. But when Yahweh Shai came, he lived a sinless life. You know, there was no sin. He didn't transgress not one single law, thus making him perfect. And because he was perfect, and he was sacrificed, it made him the perfect sacrifice, because the Levites themselves were all, sometimes were off. There was times where the chief high priest from the house of Aaron, they had to tie rope around his legs just in case he went to go offer up a sacrifice and was not right himself and died. And you have to understand, when they tied that rope around his legs, they didn't even really have that much faith. It's like, oh no, let's do that because folks were dying. You can't enter the holies of holy and be downright wicked. And that's good, and that cuts that. Well, God said, "Come to Him any kind of way, He accept you." If that's the case, how come his chief high priest had to come a certain way? Things that make you go, You know what I'm saying? So that's a cut on there. Yahweh, when we go to Yahweh, we have to come a certain way. We can't come anyway. And it's something too, I'm having a little sidebar here. It's something too how we will sit up there and go to the white man's job and come a different way than what we are in the streets. So if we could do that for the white man, do that for the nations that we have to serve under this captivity, and be and conform to how they want us to come to with the dress code and everything like that, how greater it is that how we should come to Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to bring that up and make that clear. You know what I'm saying? So, let's head back to Numbers, the 18th chapter. Numbers, the 18th chapter. So everything of meat offering ended because there's no pleasure and none of the burnt offerings. There's none of the pleasures of the meat offerings. There's none of the pleasures of the sin offering. So what offering are we talking about? Numbers, the 18th chapter. And we're going to start at verse 26. Numbers 18, chapter 18, verse 26. It said, "Thus speak unto the Levites, and say unto them, when ye take of the children of Israel the tithes, which I have given you for them for your inheritance, then you shall offer up and heave offering, of it for Yahweh, even a 10th part of the tithe." Because, like I said before, the children of Israel, they tithed. All 11 tribes of Israel tithed to the tribe of Levi. And the tribe of Levi, who was not of the house of Aaron, tithed to the house of Aaron. And then the house of Aaron would take that and offer up a heave offering. And it says of it for the Yahweh, even a 10th part of it, of the tithe. And this is your heave offering, shall be reckoned unto you as though it were the corn of the threshing floor, and as the fullness of the wine presses. Thus ye also shall offer and heave offering unto Yahweh of all your tithes, which you receive of the children of Israel, and you shall give there of Yahweh heave offering to Aaron the priest. Thus back in what I was saying up. Out of your gifts you shall offer every heave offering unto Yahweh, of all the best thereof, even the hollow parts thereof out of it. Therefore thou shalt say unto them, when you have heaved the best thereof from it, then it shall be counted unto the Levites as an increase of the threshing floor, and as an increase of the winepress, and ye shall eat it in every place, ye and your household, for it is your reward for your service in the tabernacle of the congregation. So we see here again in Numbers the 18th chapter, and I'm going back to it, the tithes is mentioned as a heave offering. And a heave offering is a burnt offering. It's a burnt offering. And how else do I know that? Let's go to Deuteronomy, the 12th chapter, verse 6. And it says, and there you shall bring your burnt offerings. No, verse 5. Let's start with verse 5. I read this before, but reading it, you're going to see something in here. But I'm going to read it again. Deuteronomy 12:5. And it says, but unto the place which Yahweh your power shall choose out of all your tribes to put his name there. Where is it talking about? Even unto his habitation shall ye seek, and there thou shalt come. Where's the habitation? Where is he going to put his name at? Of all the tribes. Talking about Judah, because the Jerusalem is in the city of Judah. But just because it's in the city of Judah doesn't mean Judah could tithe anywhere in Judah. It has to go to Jerusalem, because Jerusalem is separate from Judah. Now, it says, and there you shall bring your burnt offerings. There you go again. There in Jerusalem. There in Jerusalem. There in Jerusalem. Like I said, anybody tithing, you can't justify tithing in America. You can't justify it. This is a commandment to tithe in Jerusalem. There, this is a commandment. And it says, and there you shall bring your burnt offerings, your burnt offerings, your burnt offerings, your sacrifices, your sacrifices, your sacrifices, and your tithes, and heave offerings of your hand, and your vows, and your free will offerings, and the firstlings of your herd and of your flocks. That's the tithes again. And there ye shall eat before Yahweh your power, and ye shall rejoice in all that you put your hands unto, ye and your household, wherein the Yahweh thy power hath blessed thee. Verse 10, but when you go over Jordan and dwell in the land which Yahweh your power giveth you to inherit, and when he giveth you rest from your enemies round about, so that you shall dwell in safety, then there shall be a place which Yahweh your power shall choose to cause his name to dwell there. There shall you bring all that I commanded you. So in Jerusalem, Yahweh said, bring there that I command you. So this is a commandment. What is that commandment that we're supposed to bring to Jerusalem? Your burnt offerings and your sacrifices, your tithes and heave offerings of your hand, and all your choice vows which ye vow unto Yahweh. So again, he said, bring as I commanded you. So anybody tithing outside of Jerusalem, you are a sinner anyway. So you still cannot justify it. But here's the final part about it. The tithes is mentioned as part of the sacrificial law. The tithes burnt offerings, meat offerings, all have a heave offering. These are called what is called an oblation. An oblation is anything put by fire for a sacrifice. So the tithes is part of that. Now, when you go back to Hebrews, the 7th chapter, the 8th chapter, the 10th chapter, it's telling you when Yahushua died, it rose from the grave, that every sacrificial offering was done away with because they no more have pleasure. That is why I want everybody to ask a question to their leaders, just like I'm asking you. I want somebody to show and produce scriptures of anybody tithing anything after Yahushua HaMashiach rose from the grave. You can't find it. Why? Because it ended. Look at Apostle Paul. Apostle Paul built 7 churches of Corinthians. Remember the 7 churches? He didn't build it with no tithes. No 10% went to build those 7 churches. So what's up, Hebrew Israelite schools? That's funny. Let me see something. GOCC, Ambassadors of Christ. HOI, HYK, ISUPK, GMS, and 14th Street Israelites. Isn't it something? 7 schools that I know for a fact teaches that tithing doctrine, but Paul built seven churches in Asia Minor. 7 churches in Asia Minor, which is modern day Turkey, and not one of those 7 churches was built by no 10% income. What's wrong? What's wrong? Come on, schools. Come on, schools. Any school that I don't know of, that's any Hebrew Israelite school that I don't know of that's teaching the tithing doctrine, send them to my channel, because I got something to say to them. I mean, all y'all had to do is read the Bible, and I'm gave y'all so much ammunition. I mean, I'm telling you, I gave you so much. And I called that these last 2 videos the ultimate cut on the tithing doctrine, because like I said, believing tithing makes Yahushua death and resurrection non-invalid and non-void in your life. Because if you believe in tithing, then you cannot believe he's the perfect sacrifice, because the tithing was under the sacrificial law. That's why that these leaders and these Hebrew Israelite schools and these pastors constantly have to promote it as money. Why? Because they don't want to give it up. Because they have no faith in the people to give, to keep the school open. But then again, having that in your heart to give, to keep a school open, actually transgresses the law of giving of your money. Oh, we're going to have fun, because what I'm going to deal with next, and I'm getting scriptures together, I'm going to be dealing with offerings. What did Yahweh say about giving money? And you have to understand, when the Bible says that when the son man of sin be revealed, he said before that there's going to be a great falling away of the word. That is not talking about your $2 whorehouse you call church. That's not talking about your Islamic mosque or anything like that. Notice it's talking about a great falling away from the word. Why is it a great falling away from the word? Because you have the truth, but you fell from the truth. So it's talking about people who were in these Hebrew Israelite schools who fell from the truth. That's who it's talking about, because none of these churches, none of these religions have the truth. So it can't be talking about them. So this ends this series on the tithes. And I apologize to everyone because I was supposed to do the tithes long time ago. But I didn't because I was trying to build my other channel, because I have another channel and I see that taking off. But one thing I said in my mind, you know what, I'm not going to start videos on this channel and then leave it. I'm going to prioritize and put more videos up here, because my other channel is more circular, geared towards issues, but this is a Hebrew Israelite channel, so I got to learn how to prioritize. But this concludes the series on tithes. I defeated that false tithing doctrine. I destroyed it. I cut it every single time. I gave scriptures, and every scripture that's talking about tithes talked about food and drink. It never talked about money. I went far to go to Wikipedia. I even asked y'all questions so y'all can ask your pitiful trifle behind leaders who wants to see you lose money. So I did my obedience to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. I believe in the death and resurrection of Yahweh, of Yahweh Shai. I believe in his death and resurrection. I believe he died for the sins of my nation Israel. And that's why the 10% income, the tithes, you can kick ass. Bye. So everybody stop tithing 10% of your income. Anybody have any questions and want to debate, send them to my channel. They're not going to like what they're going to hear, but they're going to hear the word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Till then, I'm the God King Lord, Pistol Pete. As for you, peace.